All right, here we go. Episode 1 of LD
and the MC.
Right here, and we are actually in person.
This is happening,
my friend. Dave Mercer, Luke Duncan. Hope y'all are doing well out there. And this podcast is a brainchild, so to speak.
Or a brain fart.
A brain fart from Canada and Tennessee. So, whatever. We don't really know. This is a different format for a podcast for Dave and I. Dave does Facts of Fishing. I do Low Budget Live. And we have an idea for a short and sweet podcast. Dave, tell them more.
We'll stop talking. Let's get into topics. We're going to have a few different topics every week. And right now, these are topics that we just kind of Googled and came up with. But you guys can give us topics.
That's right.
I mean, all the time you're wondering, what does this bonehead think about this or that? We're going to answer.
Now's your chance.
There's only one thing I can guarantee you here, honesty. We're going to be honest, and sometimes we might get in trouble, but if we don't get moving here, we're going to get in trouble. What's the first topic?
So the first topic, and this will be the first topic almost every week, I feel like, and then we're calling this the mom's basement moment. We all collectively love internet trolls.
Isn't
Don't you,
it great
Dave?
to start out with hate?
It is, with hate. Well, you said you're the funny guy. I'm the mad one. So I get to pick the first topic this week, and it's mom's basement trolls.
All right.
Do you get hate comments?
I do. I do.
How do you handle them?
I'm happy that they noticed me. I mean, the worst thing in the world to be now is to not be noticed. So, I mean, they don't bother me. They don't bother me. I actually have one framed in my office at home, a really bad one. We'll save that for a future episode.
Okay, that may be for the championship. That may be for the classic episode.
Special
episode. Okay, I like it. So I'm going to let you, sir, the MC, I'm going to turn it over to you. Give me your mom's basement moment for episode 1 of LD and the MC.
Here it is. It's a comment on my YouTube. Just lost all respect for you. Nothing but lies and clickbait, both in the title and in the video. It is clear as day. The bigger bass at no point even attempted to eat the smaller bass. It was simply trying to eat the bait that was hanging out of the smaller bass's mouth. So no, your bass did not get eaten by a bigger bass, nor did it even try to. And the best part is, the comment came from a guy whose handle is calling out your BS.
Do you think that he accomplished that? I feel like he did.
He definitely called out my BS.
So what video, in context, we got to talk about this real quick. What video was that on? What was the title? Because I may be here to judge you too.
A larger bass gets when your bass gets eaten by a bigger bass. And in my defense, I do have footage where those fish will cannibalize. But in the video, I will say it kind of looks like that. Like the way it eats it.
Listen, everything in the internet.
Maybe the guy was right. Maybe it was total clickbait. But thank you for watching.
Everything in the internet is about driving traffic. I mean, if you just post cute little bass on topwater, nobody's going to watch that. So you gotta church it up a little bit, right?
I guess.
Come on, guys. Comment below if you think that Mercer is using clickbait, and if clickbait is okay.
Well, let's hear yours.
Okay, mine is a lot worse than that, actually. I feel, maybe not. This comes from someone that I think has a fake profile. I'm like Dave, the names on YouTube, especially when you're like Dave and I, you're throwing your face, you're throwing yourself out there. When you just got like _basslover.com money sign, like that's not fair to attack me. But this comes from a guy named Keith Pate, has a picture of his chiseled jaw next to his thing here, but I don't think it's real. It seems like something he would grab off the internet. But this is from a podcast about Major League Fishing and the Big 5 announcement that they made a couple weeks ago, which Dave talked about and I've talked about. He says, Vaseline helps a chapped ass, Luke. I'll send you a tub of it. You bash MLF nonstop, but never say what you think would make it better. You should do a show on what would be the ideal tournament trail and format. So that was a good one.
Did he ever send the tub?
I never got it.
He's a liar.
He's a liar.
You're
Keith
a liar.
Pate, if you're watching this, whoever you are out there, you're a liar. I never got a tub. I actually told him something about the tub. But I'll say this. You know what? I've done some controversial things. You think I'm a little angry sometimes. I am. I get going on something. I don't bash Major League Fishing constantly. And I'd like to say I have said many times the format doesn't bother me, and I have said ways to improve it. I just think a lot of times people comment on one thing in one moment of time, and they don't watch your entire body of work, I guess I should say.
But that's also what YouTube is.
That's what YouTube is.
It doesn't matter what your video is. Somebody's going to hate on it. And that was our first topic.
That was our first topic. And I would like to say, with all that being said, make sure you're subscribed to the Luke Duncan's Travel and Circus YouTube channel and the Facts of Fishing YouTube channel.
Please do.
Ding. We appreciate you. Moving on. Okay. So on this show, as we go, we're educating you. Okay. We're educating you on how we're going to do things. When my phone will work here, I will have our next topic. So something we want to do non-fishing and fishing topics. I saw a story on Twitter this morning. And Dave's going to bring things, and I'm going to bring things. But I saw something. This headline alone, man, is something. Second, not the first, not just person, second sighting of a person wearing a jetpack near LAX airport prompts new investigation. I mean, I have a lot of questions. I'm going to click on the article real fast. Jamie. We need a Jamie.
Jamie, pull up that article.
We'll pull up this article. It's in the LA Times. But a jetpack, Dave. What's your overall take on a jetpack?
I want one so bad. I actually literally follow. I'm looking for it. I literally follow a jetpack company. I think it's Take on Gravity or something on Instagram, and I've been following the evolution of the jetpack. Unfortunately, I think I'm not jetpack. I'm not in jetpack shape, basically, okay. I think. But, I want one. Closest I ever came to a jetpack is I once tried to convince Bass to lower me, Zona, and Tommy Sanders from the ceiling at a classic. It was the
like
year
a Garth Brooks entry kind of thing. Yeah. I'm with it.
Standing outside the fire. No, it's whole arena lights up. It's incredible.
Fire. Yes.
So my idea was it was the year we DQ. It was the year that Bass made the Alabama rig illegal. So I literally wanted us to be like lowered, all three of us, and be like the only legal Alabama. But
I'd like to say, if anybody at Bass is watching this, shame on you for passing on that, first of all. Missed opportunity. There may have only been like 10 people there that enjoyed it, but I would have been one of the 10. Because that was...
I feel like I would have been the only one awkwardly wiggling because that was part of the idea. And I feel like, yet again, Tommy,
you would have never got Tom
just looked at me weird and made me feel awkward. That's our relationship. They just push me to do crap, and then they
eat bugs and all kind of stuff. So in the article on the jetpack, an air traffic controller overseeing airline approaches warned a commercial pilot who was set up to land that an individual wearing a jetpack had been reported flying at about 6,500 feet. 2020 in a nutshell, right there, gang. I feel like. So you're pro jetpack then? Like if we're going back and forth with topics, you're pro jetpack.
Oh, I think it's the future of tournament coverage. I mean, who needs a freaking drone when Ronnie Moore could be flying over you? Ronnie Moore
mess up the part in his hair. He can't do that. But I think for sight fishing, for me, if we're bringing this back to fishing, jetpack, I can buzz around. I can see where all the beds are. I'm going to need a little bit more line on my abus, but maybe to get to the bed. But I like it. Jetpacks, ding. I wish I had a bell to ring. I feel like we need that.
Jetpacks are good.
Jetpacks are good.
Jetpacks are definitely something that's going to happen. But something else that is supposed to happen, the one great Conor McGregor wants to fight again, but wants to fight in Jerry Jones' very own stadium because 50,000 people wants to fight Dustin Poirier, who he already dusted years ago, but Dustin's a lot different now. And do you think that's going to happen?
I was reading about that. You're a big UFC guy. I am a bandwagon casual UFC guy, I should say, for the record. Okay. While we're on here, I know there are a lot of people watching this, and Dave loves UFC. I've watched every McGregor fight because I'm infatuated. Something about that charisma that you never know what he's going to do.
Incredible.
And he's just like, who was it he fought in the last fight? I apologize. Where it was just the shoulder to the
Cowboy
face.
Cerrone.
This is insane. And Cowboys are really cool. He's been on Joe Rogan a lot, like really cool cat too. So that was an interesting fight. But I mean, I think if anybody makes it happen, it's Dana White, Conor McGregor, and Jerry Jones.
I mean,
I would say that 50,000 people watching that. And is that because, I mean, I'm assuming that's half capacity, so they can do that.
And they've just been approved to move to that, I guess. That's the whole reason behind it. And Conor said he's good buddies with Jerry Jones. And of course Conor McGregor's good buddies with Jerry Jones. It's going to be a different fight than the last time they fought. I know you say you're kind of just a kind of soft-core UFC fan, but the last time they fought, it was a much different Dustin Poirier. And the question is, there's nobody in fighting in MMA that will argue that Dustin Poirier is a much better fighter today than he was when he fought McGregor. But have they met, or has one surpassed the other? I mean, McGregor's evolved, but I mean, it's
but then he's out of it for a long time too, right?
Like he's buried in a barrel of whiskey.
Yeah, and you're reading whatever online. Like he's just an insane person. I don't know. I know Poirier through Theo Vaughn's awesome podcast. Like he's from Louisiana. Seems like a really cool dude. So you know what? I'm for Dustin in that fight.
You're for Dustin?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm a huge Conor McGregor fan. I'm for Dustin. I'm for the underdog. I like the underdog. Well, we are the underdogs with the LD and the MC, my friend. All right. So every show we want to end with fishing industry-ish. Fishing.
Let's be honest. We have no idea what we want to do. This is our idea.
This is the first one. This is the first one, and I want to stop and say, you and I did a low budget live here. I am very fortunate that you are in my great state of Tennessee. But for all of you watching, this will probably be one of the only one of these that ever happened in person.
Yeah, because never look like this again.
Mercer's here. I'm there, and most of the time we're going to do these via Zoom. So. Very grateful for that. So thank you, buddy. Thank you for coming to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee for the first ever LDMC. But we're going to try to end this one on some fishing. So what you got?
Tough question. You could take it whatever direction you want. Does loyalty pay in pro fishing?
So I've done several podcasts on this type subject. I'm going to say that this is
This is why people tune in.
Exactly. So I'm going to say this. There's a lot of shifts going on in the industry, okay? Sponsor-wise, like with companies, a lot of shifts. There was a time, and I myself have been a very loyal person to a lot of the companies I've been with. I feel like 10 years ago, loyalty mattered more than it does now as an angler. I feel like loyalty right now, this year in 2020, what I'm seeing for friends of mine, even myself, got caught up in a couple deals. Loyalty burned you because 2 years ago you got offered something. You're like, man, I would never leave X to go to that. You know, I'm loyal. I've been here for years. And then X gets bought out. Something changes. The guy that you were loyal to, who was your buddy, who was your boss at that sponsor, is no longer there. And then you're just a number on a page with what they do for you, whatever. So that would be my answer. I think that I love loyalty personally. I don't like the guy that goes, hey, man, I love this black pen this year. And next year he goes, hey, man, I love blue pens. And you're like, wait a second. Because you know those guys like I do that'll switch for the drop of a hat. There's a fine line there. But I think in this day and time, with the way the business of fishing is, I think loyalty can burn you.
I gotta almost agree in certain ways. When I look at my own career, there's been a lot of opportunities over the years, whether it be on the TV show or whatever end you want to take it with, where I've been asked to make kind of a hometown discount. You know what I mean? Oh, we're all in this together. You know, we just bought a line company. Hey, come on.
Can you do this?
Use our line and leave this relationship that you're happy with. Well, in retrospect, when I look back, I mean, I don't regret any. I mean, I've been I did way better than my guidance counselor ever expected, or I did. So I'm not complaining or anything at all, but I do think that in some ways, depends on how you look at things. If it's straight business, I think loyalty hurts you. If you just judge things solely on dollars and cents, the guy who hops around at the end of the day, it probably adds up to be more.
Guarantee it.
So I think in some ways it hurts you, but it never hurts you in life. You know what I mean? In the way that if a company doesn't stick with me, or if my relationship ends with the company, I'd rather it be because, man, he was loyal. Rather than it ending because, well, you're just going to hop around anyways. And I think you have to be loyal to more than just your partners. You have to be loyal to your viewers. You have to be loyal
Stay true
to all of it.
Yeah, most of all, you got to be loyal to yourself.
Yeah.
You've got to. That's what I would tell anybody is if you are and you are unapologetically Dave Mercer all the time. I'm unapologetically Luke Duncan, and I think you've got to be loyal to yourself in that. And loyalty crosses a line sometimes with a sponsor. What if they're asking you, what if it's a company you've been loyal to and they're asking you something you don't agree with or you don't like?
It happens.
It happens. And all of you listening that might not deal with sponsors or say, well, hell, that happened to me in my job. I mean, it happens in life. Like loyalty can get you caught up. But as far as the fishing industry goes, I think it's changing.
I think it's changing, but I think loyalty will never be something that people don't. The more it becomes rare, the more valuable loyalty becomes.
It should be the most respected thing. And I've had people come at me wanting to work with me, and I said, hey, I have a deal that I'm signing soon that is something that I turned down a few years ago, but now because of another thing, it's happening. And they said, the reason we wanted to pursue you is that you told us you would not leave X, and that impressed us more than anything else you do. So it matters. It does
100%.
matter, but it is. I do see guys that get burned by it.
They do get burned by it, but
sometimes
it's part of the sport. But it's crazy to. I don't know. I mean, we're done, aren't we?
I think we're done. I think we're done. All I would ask, and I'm hungry. And all I would say is, I ask that you just be loyal to me, Mercer. I don't want to see you. I don't want to get on your Instagram and you're doing this with Matt Airy or something. Okay? No offense to Matt. I don't want to see you because he kind of looks like me. My wife.
M-A and the M-C doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work.
No.
Yeah, listen to that, Maddie.
I'm only here because it rhymes.
My wife, one time, I'm going to end on this story real quick, saw Matt and his wife on Instagram on a beach. Picture was a little far away, hugged up in a bikini for 5 whole hot seconds, was ready to kick my face in because she thought I was on the beach with some chick while I was at a tournament. I'm not kidding. I don't know what that says about me or my wife, but Matt and I have always joked Matt Airy, that we're doppelganger. His lovely wife, Emily, I'm always like, hey, wifey, when I see her, because my wife was like, she screenshots it, sends it to me and says, this picture right here, it was like in the Discovery feed. She goes, this almost got you killed today. I'm like, what? Out here fishing? You see what I put up with? LD and the MC.
And if he keeps talking, these things will never be under 30 minutes.